Hello, I'm Zach Stumbo, the Kentucky Homeless Education State Coordinator, and I'm joined today by Jennifer White, our Homeless Education Consultant. We are part of the Division of School and Program Improvement within the Office of Continuous Improvement and Support at the Kentucky Department of Education. We're excited to present to our newly appointed local liaisons today.
Vento Homeless Assistance Act. This federal law, first written in 1987 and last updated in 2016, is an important foundation for the education of homeless children and youth. It defines homeless children and youth as those missing one or more of these three elements of a nighttime residence: fixed, regular, and adequate. We typically define them as fixed, meaning stationary and not subject to change; regular, meaning used consistently; and adequate, meaning it meets the physical and psychological needs typical in a home.
Every state must have a state homeless coordinator, and local education agencies, which we call LEAs, must have a homeless liaison. Students experiencing homelessness must be immediately enrolled, and barriers must be removed to ensure their education.
Some useful definitions. The McKinney-Vento Act defines homeless students as those who lack a fixed, regular, and adequate nighttime residence. Additionally, unaccompanied homeless youth are those not in the physical custody of a parent or guardian.
On this slide, you will find examples of homelessness that might mean sharing a house, being doubled up due to economic hardship, lack of adequate accommodations, meaning that they have to stay in hotels, motels, campgrounds, or trailer parks. And other examples include emergency and transitional shelters and children abandoned in hospitals. We have some good news to share with you before we start the rest of the presentation, and that is that our focus on identification of homeless students in Kentucky is paying off. This graph shows the identification rates over the last 5 years. We don't believe that more people are eligible for McKinney-Vento. We think that our identification efforts are getting better. And as a lagging indicator to that, we believe that as we improve identification rates, Kentucky homeless student graduation rates also increase. In 23-24, we had almost 88% of homeless students graduating on time. In Kentucky, data is collected and reported to the Kentucky Department of Education annually by each district through Infinite Campus. Homeless student data for the past 3 years is documented and published online by KDE. Resources like Infinite Campus, Homeless Data Standards and Reporting, and the Infinite Campus and Homeless Education Data PowerPoint assist homeless coordinators in the data collection process. Accurate data collection and reporting are crucial to ensure that we provide the U.S. Department of Education the most accurate information possible.
Determining the primary nighttime residence. When a student is determined eligible for homeless services, liaisons should select the student's primary nighttime residence. This may change throughout the year, but the selection should remain as the student's status at the time of identification for the reporting year. Infinite Campus codes for students experiencing homelessness includes shelters and transitional housing, doubled up, unsheltered, inadequate housing, and hotels and motels. Students living in substandard conditions are coded as unsheltered.
Understanding the context of substandard housing and homelessness. Substandard housing is housing that fails to meet state or local building, health, and safety codes. Key indicators include a lack of fundamental utilities, unsafe conditions, inoperable essential facilities, overcrowding, and unreasonable dangers. Liaisons can use regional norms and community standards to further assess these conditions. Questions to include Questions to consider include whether the home is safe, meets basic needs, and provides sufficient space.
30, 60, 90-day plans for new liaisons. Creating an action plan is essential to ensure your success as a liaison. KDE offers a suggested plan of activities for liaisons to complete in their first 30, 60, and 90 days. This plan is aligned to the Homeless Liaison Toolkit prepared by the National Center for Homeless Education. The plan activities and chart are designed to support the onboarding and training of newly appointed local homeless liaisons. While this plan is intended for the new liaisons, any liaison may take advantage of the resource to assist with essential tasks related to their role.
Getting started by setting some goals, the new Liaison 30, 60, 90-day plan. Appropriate goal setting will further set your action plan up for success. This begins with a horizon goal and a 90-day goal. A horizon goal is a long-term, ambitious, and far-reaching goal. Create this goal first, based on where you wish to see the program develop in the future. A 90-day goal is a short-term objective designed to be achieved within a specific 3-month time frame. This acts as a stepping stone toward the horizon goal. This goal can be used to develop the 30 and 60-day goals using backwards design.
Recommended tasks for the first 30 days. During the first 30 days, you will become familiar with the content. We recommend you start by reading, annotating, and saving or bookmarking copies of the McKinney-Vento Act, local policies related to students experiencing homelessness, state regulations, the Homeless Liaison Toolkit, KDE resources for Infinite Campus, and the KDE Homeless Education website resources and data resources. Establish important collaboration connections with key stakeholders and address any urgent needs of homeless students.
Recommended tasks through day 60. The next 30 days move from learning about the content to the implementation of processes. We recommend you develop communication plans that raise awareness about McKinney-Vento rights with school, family, and community stakeholders. Implement identification procedures that include ways for various stakeholders to refer students at risk of homelessness. Review local policies that may present a barrier for students experiencing homelessness, and develop policies to collect, analyze, and report data for students experiencing homelessness.
Recommended task through day 90. In its third stage, the plan continues to grow by addressing specific student needs with an eye for the future. Develop processes for providing wraparound support for eligible students and plan professional development for district staff. Create a strategic long-term plan that includes the next school year. Choose strategies to increase awareness about McKinney-Vento rights. Support academic success by working with teachers and counselors to ensure access to educational resources. This is also a good time to organize a process to manage documentation and record keeping for possible monitoring from the Kentucky Department of Education.
Recommended next steps after day 90. After all of the steps of the initial 30, 60, 90-day plan, we recommend broadening the scope for present and future needs. KDE recommends liaisons attend the National Association for the Education of Homeless Children and Youth Conference for professional learning, if attendance aligns with the annual budget. Liaisons should register for and attend any professional learning opportunities provided by the Kentucky Department of Education. As a reminder, liaisons are required to complete annual training approved by the Kentucky Department of Education. Reflect on areas of success and areas that require more growth. Use your reflection to inform your next 30, 60, 90-day plan.
For
Here
any
are
question,
some, I apologize. Here are some additional resources that will be in the presentation that will be helpful for eligibility and identification.
for any questions or further information, please reach out to Zach Stumbo at zachary.stumbo@education.ky.gov or Jennifer White at jennifer.white@education.ky.gov.
Thank you for joining us today.